Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sergeant Lane Cryptid Encounters here. I was going to put this footage up on the channel today. This was recorded back in March 5th of this year. It was late at night. Um, these beings, they're nocturnal beings. They're up prowling around, moving around late, in the wee hours of the morning and whatnot. They go out and scavenge or whatever, eat, do whatever they got to do. Um, But in this particular image here, this this pine tree, let me see here. Um, this right here is the tip of the pine tree, right? This pine tree is about 12 foot tall. But you'll see here's a Sasquatch back here, way off in the distance, the adult. But this right here is the juvenile. You see his little head right here. You see his eyes. And there's his nose. And you'll see his little hand right here with these claws. Man, them claws are sharp as nails, sharp as razor blades. Yeah, they might be tiny claws, but man, they're sharp. But anyways, that's what we're looking at. I'm going to go to enhancements and lighten this up. But that's where the juvenile is and the adult way in the back. And basically, what they've been doing is I let my dogs out, and the juveniles play with my dogs. Matter of fact, my little poodle, Molly, she absolutely loves them. She'll run out in the yard and look for them. She'll walk up and down the tree line, smelling and yelping and everything else, trying to get those babies to come out and play with her. But anyways, I'll do a little bit of enhancement here so you can see what we got going on. Alright. Usually when you start your enhancements out on dark images, you want to start out with your definition first. Because if you go all the way down through the line, you get the definition last and you adjust it. Then when you go back up through the line, you always have to go back and readjust it. So if you start out with definition first, if that makes any sense. So you start out with definition first, so when you add the light to it, it's already there. Because usually after you add light to the image, you always have to go back and readjust the definition. I guess that's the best way to put it. Alright, here we go. I want to add a little bit of brightness to it. Take the brightness up a hair. Now you can see the face of the adult, see? Looking in. You can see his face. Man, he's gigantic. That tree is, like I said, a 12-foot tall tree, and he's standing clear on the ground. Man, he's a monster. And this little juvenile is right at about the 10.5 foot mark. So that's probably the shoulder of the adult, right? Because they're leaning up against the tree. So put a little bit of contrast in there. Don't need much of that. There we go. Look at that definition coming out on that. My goodness, it's looking good. I don't think I want to do much more to it than that right there. What do you think? Put maybe a little bit of highlight in it. My goodness, it's good footage. That's it right there. So let's take a look at the adult again. You can see him. Wow, check him out. And then here's that little juvenile's face. Check him out. He's got a grayish skin. You can see a little bit of the light reflecting there off his left eye. See, when you put the light dead on them, they will look off to the left real quick or to the right, so you're not reflecting light off of their cornea. And if the light is going to stay there for a little bit or whatever, they'll engage they'll blink their nocturnal lens shade out. It'll come across their eye. But a lot of times with these younger juveniles and babies, a lot of times their eyes they're not used to it. They're still learning about like shadows and light and all that stuff. So um, they'll mess up every once in a while, and you'll get good eye shine on them and whatnot. But it's a learning process for them too. And basically, yeah, check his face out. He's looking good, man. Good definition on that. You can even see the light reflecting off the back of his head there. And let's take a look at his little claws right here. Look at that. Look at the nails on them fingers. Unbelievable. Okay, so what they do is their hair is natural. Most of them naturally, their hair is like a darkish grayish. Most of it's grayish, black, and some brown tones in there. But they'll coat their skin with maple and different tree nutrients that they get out of different trees. And whenever you hit them with the light, it's like it chameleons. Their hair and their skin will chameleon with that nutrient stain that they put on their skin. So look at his fingers there with me hitting with the light right there. Look at his fingers; they just look green. They just look like the tree, basically. But when you look back into the tree there and you see when the light's not there, then you can really start to see its actual skin color come out. So they're masters of cover and concealment. And, I'm just scratching the surface of learning about their abilities and whatnot. But it's just absolutely fascinating. I learn more and more every week. But that's his hand right there. He's pulling down the branch to look at me is what he's doing. Now he's looking off to the right. You see his eyes looking off to the right. He might actually be looking at my dog. Is what he's looking at. They're just fascinated with my dogs for some reason. And then that adult back there, when they cross through my property, they'll let them stop and play with my dogs. But I don't think they deem me as any threat. Um, I'll go out and talk to them and everything else. So, yeah, I don't think they deem me as a threat. So their young ones are starting to come out more. Um, they're coming out of the wood line more. But anyways, yeah, look at that. That's clear footage right there, fellas. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Peace.